Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Become the Disruptor. My name is Magda. I'm a trauma-informed qualified therapist. And today we're going to be talking about what is happening in this post-manifestation, post-coaching, post-therapy stage where we are all in, when we understand our triggers perfectly, when we understand our attachment styles and love languages, when we have so many available frameworks, yet nothing is changing. Nothing is changing. So, and some of you had been there, and I've been there myself, because this video is not going to be about me only talking from this position. I never been there before. I never intellectualized and gathered and collected knowledge before. No, I've been there 100%, and this kept me stuck for years until I realized that there is only the cognitive process is one thing, but the change of behavior and the change of action requires a very different nervous system capacity and something very different altogether. It actually requires you to stay with the discomfort, to tolerate saying no few times before that's going to become the new norm. So this is what's happening, guys. A lot of you had been almost like using your intelligence as a buffer and as avoidance. And at the beginning, when you may be starting the journey of healing or the journey of growth or self-development, again, however you want to call it, knowledge is important, 100%. Theory is important, but more podcasts, more books, more insight, more self-awareness, that feels very productive for your mind, because your mind, our minds are very restless, especially nowadays in the era that information is so easily available. So it feels productive. But the question is, what has actually changed in your life? So when you look at when you started your actual, healing journey, growth journey, again, whatever noun you want to use here, you use it. What has actually changed in your life? Did you change in your relationships? Has your partnership, if you are in any, improved? Did your finances improve? Did your friendships improve? Do you have a better community? Does the quality of your life actually has improved? Because if it hasn't, then I can tell you this, that understanding more and more knowledge, at this point, it is your avoidance, and it is a coping strategy against actually facing the real change, because the real change will be costly, not necessarily only financially, but it will cost you to feel a lot of emotions that you are currently avoiding to feel through your cognition. Because when you are listening to all these podcasts, you don't have to face your life. You don't have to feel the emotion that is arising again and again. And for some of you listening to the podcast, it's almost like an equivalent to someone else's a glass of wine or a few glasses of wine. It calms you down. Oh, I don't have to actually change. I don't have to actually change my behavior. So, and like I said, guys, I've been there. So I'm not talking from, I just want to call you out actually, because I think that someone needs to call this out. And there's definitely some content creators who are doing that. And I'm just joining forces with them 100%. So when you are analyzing instead of acting differently, when you are increasing self-awareness instead of actually feeling the raw emotion that is arising within you, when you are trying to understand something rather than making a really uncomfortable decision in real time, you are building nothing. You are building exactly the same thing, because in those moments of discomfort, this is where your life is changing. And guys, don't get me also wrong. This is not the change that you are seeking, is not going to happen after you do these things once or twice or 3 times. No, because that is magical thinking. Some people think that if you're gonna change your pattern once and then sneakily come back to it, then life is gonna change. No. Why would you even think that? Your patterns and again, I'm talking to the old version of me here as well. So when you had been repeating for years and years and years the same patterns, the same loops, do you even think that you can see them? And if you do see them, can you withstand the discomfort of repeating different action again and again and again until it becomes normal? Because guess what? When you're going to be taking a different action, you're going to feel grief, you're going to feel dread, you're going to feel fear, you're going to feel anger, you're going to feel all these viscerally. And that is when the capacity of your nervous system is increasing to match that version of you that is no longer doing these loops. So this is where the real change happens, when you are able to maintain the choices, the new actions, the new behavior. And people think that, oh, I'm just going to do it once. Okay, so you're going to do it once and that's going to magically wipe out the years of doing things differently. Again, guys, I want you to really reflect on that, because there's a lot of people, be it therapists or manifestation coaches or coaches, who are making so much money off magical thinking. Do you think that you're gonna change your energy through affirmation? Your energy is gonna change when you're gonna start taking different actions. That is a different energetic imprint when you are doing things in this life, in this reality, differently. And that is not magic. That is actually how this reality works. And you can have different philosophy and different belief systems about how this reality works. But what is the evidence? Because what I see again and again in my private practice, and when I was still, on my healing journey, what I saw again and again is that life always gives you the truth. Life always gives you the evidence of where you are. And that is, like I said, that is not to say that, when you're starting changing your behaviors, things are already moving differently. Yes, but before you're going to see a proper results, it's going to take some time. Just like those old patterns that you had been repeating again and again for years had their energetic imprint on your life. So the thing is that you are trying to escape is that, first of all, you are avoiding potentially a lot of feelings through cognition, through intellectualizing, through gathering more knowledge. That is one. So you have to, in order for them to arise properly to the surface, you need to start taking different actions. You need to start doing something differently. And also, so that is one aspect, and that will increase the capacity of your nervous system. And then you're going to start looking at your loops from the outside of them rather than the inside of them. So at this point, doing it alone only matters as much as in a way that, yes, you can do it alone to a degree, but I would definitely seek some support, at least be surrounded by people who are on similar journeys, who can call you out, hold you accountable. But you can also hire a therapist, someone like me, who will hold you accountable, give you external proper observation and feedback. Because like I said, when you are inside the loops, you cannot really see them. Who will hold you accountable. I think I said that. Yes. So external observation, holding you accountable, clear action plan. So actually picking strategically actions and behavior that will give you the best results, that maybe not even the quickest, but the best results that matter most. So you have to pick one area of your life with your practitioner and think about, okay, are these intimate relationships that you want to work on, or maybe the money situation, whichever that is, you pick one area and you work on that area, and you pick few strategic choices, behavior changes, and actions that will make the most impact. And then you have to also, with your therapist, learn properly how to regulate your nervous system in real time. So you stick with these decisions over a longer stretches of time when you sometimes don't see any visible results in your life. All this combined, when you do that with your therapist, when you find a practitioner like that, and I said it a few times as well, but I'll say it again, the framework does not matter as much as the practitioner's ability to deliver the results. If they have a sustained feedback from their clients, then it means that they have a capacity as a practitioner and they can deliver you results because they already done that to other people. So pick a practitioner, pay the financial expense for that practitioner, and remember, at this stage that you're on, you don't need and you don't want a weekly therapy, because weekly therapy is just emotional processing and it's just more insight that will keep you more stuck. What you need is a clear action plan, like I said, accountability, action plan, nervous system regulation. That's it. And external observation. So when a practitioner can deliver that for you, then you just need time to integrate this plan into your life, and then you need therapy once in a while. So it's a very different type of working with people. And this is the way of how to move from this post-therapeutic, post-manifestation, post-coaching era when you've been doing things for years and you're still stuck. This is the only way forward, guys, through different actions and change of behavior. And you can do it alone, like I said, but I wouldn't advise it, because your intelligence might think that you can do it alone, but if you could have done it alone, that you would have done it already. So if you want to book a session with me, you've got the links down below. You can also subscribe to my newsletter as well. And like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.